All right, you guys. So let's go ahead and get started here with example one. In example one, it says Marcia opens a computer store and makes $27 for every computer she sells. What is the minimum number of computers she needs to sell to make a profit if her monthly expenses are $10,000? Now, in this case, guys, this problem here is a real life situation, guys. Wanting to start a business, there's always a lot of investment you have to do, payments you have to do at the end of the month. It's not all just about selling. It's also selling to make ends meet. In this case, we have Marcia. She's opening a computer store. She gets $27 for every computer she sells, and she does have monthly expenses that accumulate to $10,000. So in this case, guys, with word problems, we are going to be following these steps here. First step in this case is you always want to go ahead and label your variables. Always want to label your variables. Next step would be for us to create an equation. Final step would be for us to solve. So starting off, guys, I do want to go ahead and first focus on the input. Let me actually make this. We want to focus on the input. Which represents the X, and the output. Input in this case, guys, is what we're putting in. Output represents what's expected of us to get at the end of the day. So input in this case, guys, is basically a number of sales. Input in this case, guys, once again, is going to be represented by the number of sales, which is what we will be selling. Output in this case is what's expected from us, and it's not just obviously selling a certain amount, but we do have to have a profit here. So we want to go ahead and get a profit. So in this case, output represents the profit. This one's supposed to be Y, not X, Y. All right, so we labeled our variables here. Now let's go ahead and actually highlight a few things here. So it says she opens a computer store and she makes $27 for every computer she sells. They're asking us what's the minimum number of computers she needs to sell to make a profit. All right, because we want to go ahead and not just make ends meet, not just pay the expenses, but we also want to get money from our investment. Another thing they're telling us is that her monthly expenses are $10,000. All right. So next step in this case, guys, is for us to create an equation. So first off, we know in this case that for every computer she sells, she will be getting $27. Now, question for you guys is, do you guys know how many computers she sold or how many she needs to sell? In this case, we don't, because that's what we're trying to find. We're trying to find the minimum number of computers she needs to sell. So in this case, I will be writing 27x. Once again, 27x because we want to find the minimum number of computers she needs to sell. Now, with her monthly expenses, that's $10,000. I'm actually not counting on that money, which means I won't be including that as my profit. I'll actually be counting my profit once I reach $10,000. So in this case, we're basically losing that money. So it's minus $10,000. All right. And that is going to be equal to our profit, which in this case is Y. All right. So in this case, guys, I do want to go ahead and solve for X here. But in this case, the profit in this case, guys, we're just going to go ahead and say that's a 0 for now. Because we actually don't know how much we need to make. But it's based on the smallest amount, which is anything greater than $10,000 would be a profit. So I will be starting off there with the 0. And that's 10,000 there. And that's 27x. So first step in this case, guys, is to add 10,000 to both sides. All right, and that gives us 27x equal to 10,000. All right. Next step for us in this case is to divide it by 27 because we want to leave our variable alone. So x in this case is going to equal, let's go ahead and check here. I got the calculator. Let's see. So I have 10,000 divided by 27. And that is going to give us approximately, x is about approximately 370.4. Now, in this case, guys, we're actually going to go ahead and be rounding this off. If I do round it off to the nearest ones value, that would be giving me 370. But in this case, I really can't sell 370.4 of a computer, so I'm actually going to be approximating these, so rounding these to 371. And just to double check, guys, I do want to go ahead and input this with in the calculator. Let's say I do 370. Let's say I do 27 times 370 minus $10,000. In this case, I should be having a positive balance, but I actually have a negative balance. So if I actually change this to 371, I actually start getting a profit. So after I sell 371 computers, I should be seeing the profit. All right. So answer there, guys, is 371. All right. Now, one thing, guys, when you guys do con is going to be asking for two answers. First answer is your equation. Second answer is the solution for the variable.